Trigonometry review. Question 1. It says find AC, round to the nearest tenth. So that's the first digit after the decimal. So we want to see if we're using law of sines first, and we have 23 degrees, and right across the way opposite is 7. So we have a relationship. And we're looking for AC, which is from here to here. So it's this line. So this is our x, our unknown. So we're going to start with that. That's in our numerator. It is not an angle, so we do not put sine on it. 71 degrees is an angle. So that's 71 degrees. And I can put the little marker. That equals, all right, well, let's see what we have here. We have 23 degrees and 71 is in the denominator, so we'll do 23 degrees down here and write sine. And then that's related to our 7. All right, so from here we have to multiply both sides by the what's around the variable. It's x divide by sine of 71. So the inverse of that is multiply by sine of 71 on both sides. So now we have x is equal to all of this. I'm going to rewrite sine of 71 in front times 7 over sine of 23. Okay, here it is. So you can see both. Okay, there we go. So sine 71, close that out, times 7 divide by sine of 23. Now, I could put parentheses around this. Well, I mean, there I should do that just for good practice. Right here, because I wrote it up here above. So I could do parenthesis 7 divide by sine of 23. Like so, and then close out my big parenthesis. And we get 16.939. So going back, we want to round to this digit, but we're going to actually go back here to look at it. It's a 3. This actually goes up to a 4, but that does not impact that 9. So it's 16.9. Okay, question 2. Find angle B. So last time we found a side, this time we're finding an angle. Let's first find our angle. So we're trying to find this guy right here. That's our angle B. Are we using law of sines? Well, we do have a relationship right here. Okay? And we're trying to find this relationship. This would be our x. Okay, so let's start with our x. That is a degree, so we need to put a sign in front of it. That's over 10. That equals, well, up top we have degrees, so 51 degrees. And every time we have a degree, we write sine with it, at least for law of sines. All right, now we have our sine of x. We multiply both sides by 10. And we get sine of x is equal to, I'm going to rewrite my 10 in front, over 11. Now, to get our x by itself, we have to get rid of the sine, and to do that, we take the inverse sine of both sides. Like so. And I'm going to write it down here. We have x is equal to inverse sine of 10 times sine of 51 all over 11. Like so. And we could add parentheses in here if we want to as well, but we don't really have to. It's all multiplication or division and multiplication. All right, so now let's put it in our calculator. So we get both on the screen again. There we go. Okay, so inverse sine, 10 times sine of 51. Now, the calculator defaults 10 times in there, so you don't actually have to put times. But if you want me to, I will. 10 times sine of 51. Close that first parenthesis out. Divide by 11. And we have our original parenthesis open still from our inverse sine right here. So we have to close that one out. Technically, we don't have to, but it's just good practice to remember that it's still open. And we get 44.95. Our question asks us to the nearest degree. So our 44 degrees will round up to 45 degrees. So x equals 45 degrees. Question 3. Find BC. So BC is from here to here, so it's this line. All right, so first we want to see if we can use law of sines. Well, do we have a relationship anywhere? We're looking for this one. So we want a relationship, but we don't have it. And then if we look, we don't have this angle, nor this angle. So we don't have a relationship between a side and an angle. So we have to use law of cosines. When we use law of cosines, you always want to refer to this sheet. I would copy this down somewhere on your review, because you cannot use your notes on the test. So, going back to the question, we're looking for side BC, which refers to angle A. So we have angle A. So we're going to use this top one up here. So I'm going to rewrite A squared. I'm going to move it like that. There we go. Okay, so we have A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2 times B times C times cosine of our angle A. Okay, so let's plug everything in and solve. So our B is right here, our C is right here, and our A is our X, which is our unknown, and this is our angle A. So B is 6 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 6 times 5 times cosine of 74. And this all equals A squared. Okay? So we're going to plug this all in the calculator, and then we're going to get A squared is equal to some number. Let's do that right now. Okay, so 6 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 6 times 5 times cosine of 74. All right, so A squared is equal to 44.462. To get A by itself, we have to square root both sides. So we get A is equal to the square root of this number. So I'm going to do square root, and then second, hit my answer key way down here, which copies my answer into calculator, and we get 6.667. I say round to the nearest tenth on the question, so we're going to get 6.7. Okay, question 4. All right, so we're trying to find angle C, which is right here. And we have no relationship, we have no angles, so we have to use law of cosines. When we have no angles, you know you have to use law of cosines right away. We're looking for angle C, so we're going to be using this formula, C squared equals A squared, because we're looking for angle C, and that's where angle C is found. Okay, so I'm going to write that equation at the top here. All right. So now let's plug and play. Well, actually, let's identify everything. So this is our A, our B is 13, and our C is 8. All right, so first we have C squared, which is 64. And we have A squared, which is 49. And then we have B squared, 13 squared is 169. Minus 2 times A times B. Okay, so remember, A is 7, B is 13. So I'm going to do 2 times 7 times 13. Oops, I hit 8. So that's 182 minus 182 times cosine of our unknown, C. All right, so now let's move over these two items to their side. So we're going to do 64, and then we're going to subtract 49 and subtract 169. So that these all cross off. So let's do the calculator. So we have 64 minus 49 minus 169. We get negative 154. is equal to negative 182 times cosine of c. All right, so now we got to divide by negative 182. And we get, that's cosine c now by itself. And we have, these are both negatives, they turn positive. We can also simplify both of them. I don't have to, because my calculator will do that for me in a second. So now to get cosine c, or to get c by itself, we have to take inverse cosine on both sides. And then we'll get c by itself at this point. So c, I'm going to write it on the right side over here because I'm running out of space, is equal to, so in our calculator we do inverse cosine, and then our numbers were 154 over 182. And if you want to leave them negative, you can do that as well. Okay. You also calculate the right way. 32.20, and we went to the nearest degree, so it would be 32 degrees. Okay.